Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. Please join me for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'll take this moment to wish everybody a happy new year. Hopefully everybody a happy and a safe new year. We have a few minutes, Chris, before we have Chief O'Grady. Is there anything you want to bring up beforehand?
We could probably talk about the departmental budget meeting schedule.
Okay.
It's that time of year again where the board meets with all the departments under their control to review their FY24 budget submission. Usually take 2 nights, and it's usually like 45 minutes per presentation. And the board needs to try and provide 2 dates so we can notify the department heads of when the board will be meeting with them.
Okay.
Do you want them back to back, Chris?
It's usually done like a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Okay.
Other times it's been done where you'll come in half an hour earlier or an hour earlier and meet with a couple or do something of that nature. It's been done various ways by different boards around their schedules.
Okay.
We find it's easier though if you set aside a night just to devote to the budget presentations.
Okay.
All right. Anybody want to look at that now, or you can just... Chris, why don't you just everybody just get back to you with dates that work for each individual?
All right,
We'll go from there.
okay.
All right. So if the other board members can, Chris, why don't you just send out an email to the board members, and we can respond back to you. And whatever dates work for all of us to get together, then we'll go with that date.
Yep, okay.
We still have a few minutes. Quickly, if we want, go over the departmental reports. Anybody has any questions or concerns about them?
I did have a question about the fire department one, which I'm not sure if you'd be able to answer, Chris, but it says that they were awarded the Safe Education Grant for students in grades K through 12. Do you know what that grant is? Is that for educating them, or?
The SAFE grant is basically, it's a fire education grant. And what it does is, they used to bring the trailer in and show kids how to get out of a burning building. You know, they put smoke,
Okay.
teach them to go low. They have other type of events that they do with it also to try and teach the youth on how to deal with smoke in their house and how to safely get out of the house.
Yeah.
You know, have the safe spot where everybody's going to meet, the family's going to meet, things of that nature.
It was that also when they used to do the Jaws of Life too? When they used to do the, is that a different?
I think they used to come in on a different day with that one.
Okay.
'Cause I know in a lot of communities, they have that trailer that they'll bring into the schools. And
Yeah.
they'll put a smoke bomb off in it and teach them, stay low, crawl, things of that nature.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
Do we have anything
I
else?
think it's great that they got it. So,
Any other questions?
don't believe so.
Not sure.
Chris, just, I know Jeremy's not here. If you just follow up with Jeremy before we accept his report. Just have him review it in regards to just some notations he made regarding Friday. Kind of the wording doesn't make sense.
Friday, the,
I don't know, didn't have the
What-
date, so it would be,
was it the one he submitted today?
yes.
So it would have been Friday, the 30th.
Okay, yeah. You just have him review it before we accept his report. It's, the wording didn't make sense when I read it.
Okay.
there a motion to accept the report? Is there any other discussion? This time?
Which one are you reading? This one? The tractor maybe?
No, right here, the boiler.
Go up higher, okay.
Jeremy met with the boiler.
Yeah, I was trying to find where you wanted it.
Wonder how the boiler's doing.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Makes
what
sense.
was the issue on it? You met with the boiler inspector?
No, he met with the boiler.
Oh,
You
okay,
left
so
the inspected part out.
Should be the
He
inspector.
left some words out, that's all.
Yeah.
That's-
Should be the inspector, yes.
As soon as he sees and reads it, you'll understand what I'm
Okay.
talking about, so.
So I'll make a motion to accept the departmental reports except for the one for the building maintenance from the week ending in 12/31/22.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion this time? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, that brings us to Chief O'Grady.
I know it's been almost a year, here, let's see. I know it's been almost a year that we talked about, I brought Officer Jorgensen before you about appointing him. You offered a conditional offer of employment for him to complete the Bridge Academy. This is part of that COPS grant that we were awarded last year. Well, the time has finally come. He's completed the Bridge Academy. He's one of the first ones again this year. We got his waiver email, so he is a certified police officer for full-time, and he'll have a permanent waiver or exemption from going to a full-time academy. He's been with us since 2007. One of the requirements was 2,400 hours, as well as this Bridge Academy. As of early December, when I was getting the numbers together, he had 17,000 something hours. So much so that they said, please don't send all those hours, just send something close. So
Overachiever.
again, his
Try.
exemption and waivers has been accepted, so I'm asking that we appoint him, make it official on January 8th if possible.
Does anybody have any questions for? No.
I'm not really familiar with the COPS grant. I think that might have been before my time.
That was we were awarded a $125,000 grant towards employing a new full-time police officer.
And that's is that a continuous thing that they're gonna do every fiscal year, or is that for one?
It's over a 3-year period, we draw down the
Okay.
125,000, and then we had to agree to at least keep the officer for another 2 years beyond, so.
Okay.
Well, congratulations on, I'd say completing, but kind of graduating from the Bridge Academy too.
Thank you.
It does take a lot of time and effort to do that. If there's any other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Can I ask a quick question? Is this a one-year appointment?
It will be conditional for the first probationary period, and then we'll go 3 years from July 1st.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Yes.
So this would be January 8th, 2023 through January 7th, 2024.
Is there a motion? I'm sure there will be. Crystal's just writing it down right now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just
Okay.
writing down all
Yeah.
the stuff. And then I know this will also help out with the issue that we're having with staffing, right? As far as overtime shifts and stuff like that? It
Yes,
should help with that?
this was part of it as part of the plan, overall plan, yes.
Right, okay. Right. So I will make a motion to approve Mr. Jorgensen for a full-time officer with the Granby Police Department from January 8th, 2023 to January 7th, 2024.
I'll second that motion.
Is there any further discussion?
No.
So that for 1 year is probation? Or
Well,
6
it's actually a
months?
3-month, but that's how we always do it for the first year, and then he'll fall into the regular cycle with the full-timers, which is a 3-year appointment.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No? Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Round of applause from the peanut gallery back there.
We have citizen participation at this time. We have Mr. George Randall, sir. Good evening, Mr. Randall.
Good evening. First off, Happy New Year to the board.
Happy
Thank
New
you,
Year.
George.
I appreciate you letting me have a few minutes of your time. A while back, I asked your permission to go into the Dufresne Park with a motorized vehicle to take me up into the woods to look for a specific tree that had been identified a long time ago. And I believe that we found two trees. One, they're both dead and falling apart. I'm reasonably certain that the first tree that we found is one that was originally found and was supposed to have been the largest tree in the state at the time. I didn't realize it that it had been prior to 2004. I thought it had been more recent, but you get old and you lose track of time. So I know you granted me an hour, and I was there an hour and 15 minutes. So I'll take the backlash for that, and I'll submit this to the board. Quick report, and there's some photographs there.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. But also, I'm continuing to follow up on the research through the state DCR. I'm waiting for a call back from the state forester to be certain that I've got the right tree. I discussed it with Richie Gay, and Rich thinks that I have the correct tree.
It's much larger than all the other trees around it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They are huge, but they aren't viable anymore.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Thank you, George. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to do something like that too, for the town.
I really appreciate your courtesy from the board and also from Chris to allow me to go in the way that I had to. I just couldn't walk it. But your trails are terrible and need some maintenance.
Working on that.
But if I am successful in getting a copy of the report, I'll forward it to the board.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Give Crystal a minute or two to look at that before we move on. Next on our agenda is to approve and sign maintenance warrants.
All right, I'll start with the first one, which is a bill payable warrant, number 38, dated 12/16/22, in the amount of $227,913.08. Next warrant is a payroll warrant, number 39, dated 12/23/22, in the amount of $436,494.37. And next one is a maintenance warrant, number 40, dated 12/23/22, in the amount of $208,547.28. And last warrant is a bills payable warrant, number 41, dated December 30th, 2022, in the amount of $506,263.99.
Is there a motion? On the warrants?
Yep, so I will make a motion to approve warrants as read.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right, any further discussion this time?
I did have a couple of questions. For the animal inspections, Chris, what is that for? When they say-
We have to annually go out and visit all the farms and
Okay.
count all the animals.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And that report is then included in our annual report, and I believe it's filed with the state also. It's conducted through the Board of Health's office.
Okay. And then the deputy collector fees are people who are delinquent?
Yes.
Okay.
On motor vehicle excise.
Okay.
Anything else, Chris?
Yes, sorry.
No, anything else?
Yes.
Oh,
So La Framboise Water, that's still the police station, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought.
We did get permission to do the work that was submitted, and we're just waiting for them to come in and schedule a time to come in and complete that work.
Okay. And work meaning the seal? Was
No,
it the same
no,
thing?
that was the water softener
Okay.
and system. And I believe, once they get that going, I think also that ties into some of the hits we've been getting on the water testing too, a little bit. But the good news is we're off the boil order here.
Yeah, I know, that is really
So.
good news. Took a long time, but we're off. And then the electrical repairs, I know there was a lot in Jeremy's report, a malfunctioning door and stuff, but this one was Kurt Mengel. Was that,
He does, I think he had to replace a couple ballasts up at the new library.
okay.
He had to
Oh,
do
I did
some
read that
other,
report.
some of the other work that Jeremy had talked about. He's the electrician he uses for all his electrical work.
Okay. Thank you.
how's that?
One more question on warrant 40. There was Kearsarge.
Kearsarge, yes.
Yeah, so that, I thought we were getting our electricity last time we talked from National Grid. Is that a different supplier?
No, we buy some of our power through a solar field, Kearsarge. Okay. What happens is we get a credit on our National Grid bill,
Okay,
and then we get charged 80% of the credit from Kearsarge for the solar power that they're getting. So we have a 20% savings,
okay,
but it's not on every bill that we have. Well, I did our larger users to get the power from Kearsarge for that.
okay. Sorry, one more question. For the card member services, is that only certain departments that get to use cards? Or is that,
All right, that is the town credit card. If a
okay,
department head needs to charge something, they
yeah,
get the card from me to be able to charge.
okay. So
That
they
way I
just-
know what's being charged to our account.
Okay. The only reason why I asked is because a lot of times we don't have, I know department heads have to eat the excise tax and stuff if they're using their own money. So I know we can't possibly give every single department their
No.
own credit card because there's no way to monitor that. But, or it'd be harder to monitor. So they just come to you, they ask you for it after you talk about what they're gonna get. And then they can use that instead of eating the excise tax all the
And
time.
we try and make sure we let the person know that it's tax exempt.
Okay.
What excise tax? What are you talking
Sales tax.
Sales tax,
tax,
sorry,
sorry.
not excise tax, sales tax I got in talking about
But-
cars.
about?
Yeah.
Lots being billed to the town, they wouldn't pay it because they get our tax ID number.
Correct. But that's what I'm saying, is I have to let them know,
Taxes.
to let them know it's tax
Right.
exempt.
Right.
Because a lot of people just charge and they don't care. And then we're stuck having to pay the sales tax, and I get the hit from the auditors.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you. Sorry, that was it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? We have approved minutes.
Yep.
We have what, the minutes from December 29th meeting, 2022?
Yep.
Anybody have any questions or comments regards to the minutes?
I don't.
There was just a typo on the compact grants. It says ComAct grants. I thought it was a different abbreviation, but that was it. That's all I saw.
Where'd you see that, Crystal?
Oh, right here. Because at first I thought I was reading the wrong name of the grant. I was like, what kind of grant is that? But it was
Oh,
just
okay.
compact.
Yeah,
That's it.
okay.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to accept the December 29th, 2022 minutes with the,
As amended.
Hmm?
As amended.
as amended? I was getting to that.
Okay.
I'm finished.
Yes, I will make a motion to accept the minutes from December 29th as amended.
Is there a second?
I'll second that one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anybody opposed? We have to approve the sewer abatement for number 23-01 for Five Corners LLC.
Okay. The board had signed the first commitment for the first half of 2023. I would say it was probably around the beginning of December, at your December 5th meeting. The bills went out, and we got a call from Mr. Hallen, who owns Five Corners LLC,
Yep.
questioning why his number of EDUs, equivalent dwelling units, went from 1 to 4. We didn't make any change. I didn't make any changes. So upon Kathy called the collector's office to find out why his bill went up so high. Because when he called the collector's office, she said, well, the selectman did it, you need to call the selectman's office. So when Kathy called, she was told that the collector had a conversation with me and Dave DeRozier about changing it from 1 unit to 4 units. I never had a conversation with her, number one. David never had a conversation with her. She went and changed the number of billable units on her own without any authority from the sewer commissioners who are the Board of Selectmen. So, told Mr. Hallen we would issue an abatement for this for 3 units. He only owed for 1 unit. But now I have to go through the actual detail of that commitment and see if any other changes were made without the authority of the Board of Selectmen.
So when you say 1 EDU units, what is that
Okay.
equivalent to?
Because we don't have water meters on our sewer users, what the state has, they have a chart, okay, where it says 1 EDU or equivalent dwelling unit is equal to the use of 330 gallons per day. Now, they have a whole list of various types of apartments. A one-bedroom apartment is 110 gallons per day. Okay? A salon, based upon the number of chairs, could be 75 gallons to 300 gallons. It's basically so many gallons of water per chair. Same thing with a restaurant, same thing with like a Dunkin' Donuts or Cumberland Farms or restaurants. They have all these charts of various uses. We take, when someone wants to connect to the sewer, we find out what they have, and we go to that chart, and we figure out how much water they're supposed to be, you think they're gonna use, based upon this chart developed by the Department of Environmental Protection. That's what an EDU is.
And so for Five Corners, that's just the salon, or is that all of the building?
It's all four of them.
Okay.
We would look at all four units. We had we had two offices, we had a bicycle repair shop.
Yep,
We had the Verizon store, we had the salon, and we had Dunkin' Donuts.
yep.
Okay? Based upon that chart, we came up to 330 gallons a day, we figured. Okay? Well, actually, that was figured back in 1994 when the sewer first went in. So,
Okay.
my biggest concern is the collector went in and changed it without proper authority. And I have a concern with that.
Did you talk to her?
I haven't talked to her yet. I believe a letter should come from the Board of Selectmen also.
Chris, while we do that, can you draft up a letter from the Board of Selectmen acting as the sewer commission?
Mhm.
We'll ask her what occurred, what took place, because those shouldn't have been changed, and we want to make sure that nothing else was changed, because that obviously falls under the purview of the sewer commission, which is the select board.
But I think what bothers me also is when they called there, the answer was, well, we need to call the selectmen. They're the ones who oversee this. When we didn't make any changes.
No, that's correct, we oversee
Yeah.
it. But
We
make any
oversee it, but the
changes-
thing is
Right.
she knew why the bill went up.
Right,
But then it turned around and made us have to deal with it,
right.
which
So-
isn't right either.
No, and that's why I said if we can if you could draft a letter from, and obviously we'll review it, from the select board, asking what occurred and took place as far as that, and did any other changes occur, and remind her that doesn't fall under her purview. It falls under the select board acting as the sewer commission.
Okay.
Should we bring her in, talk to us?
No.
No?
We don't have that. She's elected official, she'll have to come and see us. But that's just a letter to us, to her, so. And just to notify us if any other changes were made, because we like to rectify them before we get, calls from other
Complaints, yeah.
people regarding it. Anybody have any other questions or comments regards to that?
When we get the sewer bills, and before it gets billed out, should we be looking for the updates in them?
We've never had a problem before.
Okay.
This is the first time this has occurred.
Okay.
But I guess from now on, before I bring the commitment in front of the board, I have to go through and review every bill again.
Now, have they updated the website or the form that they use at all since 1994? Because I know, I'm just trying to understand, well, you said that you get the form where they tell you one bedroom is 110 gallons.
That was a chart developed by DEP.
Yeah, have they updated
I
that
have
since
no clue.
1994?
I have no clue.
I'm just trying to figure out why it would have changed, you know what I'm saying?
No,
is
the
it
collector
some-
went in and just changed it
They
in her
changed it.
billing system.
So at one
Okay.
point, it was billed as one unit, and now it was billed as 4 different units. So that's a change. So now you pay a sewer bill on 4 different units.
No, I
versus
understand
one.
that. I was just
Oh.
trying to figure out where why it got changed to 4, because it was 4 different buildings?
I don't know because I never had a
And I know you said you're
conversation.
gonna have them draft a letter and ask her why it was
Right.
changed, but I'm just trying to understand why all of a sudden it
I
would
can
have.
only thing I can think of, because there's 4 businesses in there, not just one.
Yeah.
Maybe they're thinking it's per business, per
like different entity or
Right.
something?
Maybe
Yeah,
Instead of looking at it in one particular building, looking
Okay.
at one, or 4 separate.
But the change isn't under her purview to do the change without.
right.
No.
No, I get that.
So that part shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, we have to approve and sign the 2023,
Oh,
Can
we
I
have
get you to?
I made a
oh,
motion, but,
oh, You didn't vote on the,
oh, the letter,
Abatement.
sorry.
the
Oh, the
abatement.
abatement, no, sorry.
No, that's okay, I'm just,
so I will make a motion to approve the sewer abatement for Five Corners LLC, CO Helen Keith.
Chris, did he request abatement? Because actually, there should be no abatement made. That should just be rectified on our level.
no, because he already received this bill.
So once the bill goes out, we now have to,
But the bill isn't correct. The bill,
Because you signed a commitment for 116,000 and change. Inside that commitment,
what's this?
it was that bill for $1,270. It should have been $319.50. So the actual commitment you signed saying, bill this out, is incorrect.
okay, I got you.
Now we have to go through and through another form, abate out the overbilling.
I understand what you're saying now, all right. I didn't know, it was actually charged out that way, okay.
So do you want me to say what it was billed, what it was adjusted, and what the price is now, or
I
just
I
what the
would,
final cost
I
is?
would, just so that
Okay.
it's clear to everybody of what we're talking about.
Alright, so, the sewer abatement certificate number 2002-50, commitment number 23-1, should have been billed at 1 EDU, not 4 EDUs, for Five Corners LLC, CO Helen Keith, was billed 1,270, abated $952.50, so it will be adjusted to be $317.50. So that is my motion to approve this abatement.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion this time? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
So that was my copy, so hold on, let me get this signed.
And then the board needs to sign each one of those, there's copies of.
Yep, right here.
What we could do, Chris, if we could, is get an updated, how the state does their calculations.
All right, I'll see if I can. find
Yeah,
it
just
out.
to make sure that we're charging at the right rate as well,
Okay.
to Crystal's point.
29 years, I'm sure something's changed.
You'd be surprised.
Sorry, these were the warrants that I never passed along.
What's this here for? Is one missing a sign-off sheet now?
No, that's yours because Kathy gives you the top copy of everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, Chris, just regards to the sewer rates, we're just billing out what would be in charge from South Hadley though. Is that correct?
We have three rates.
3 separate rates?
Three separate rates, okay? We have the people who are along the Granby South Hadley line. They're just charged the sewer rate from South Hadley. Then we have what we call the five corner rate, which is the second one that was done that comes down to 202.
But, not to interrupt, but that's what we're billing out, is what our cost is for the sewer?
Yes, but
Yeah.
it cost, because the one for Five Corners, we have maintenance costs on our pump stations and
Right,
things of
yeah.
that nature, so we charge that out. Also, based upon the budget you approve for the sewer.
Right, yep.
Okay, and then the third rate is the one who used the community septic system behind the highway garage.
Right.
And that's a third rate.
Yep.
So,
Okay. All right. Moving along, we have to approve and sign the common vic license for CVS Pharmacy, number 7111. And Cumberland Farms, number 6698.
All right, so CVS Pharmacy Common Victualers License number 23-15. CVS Pharmacy Incorporated, number 7111, 70 West State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. In said town of Granby, and that this place only, that place only, and expires December 31st, 2023, unless sooner suspended or revoked for violations of the laws of the Commonwealth respecting the licensing of common viculars. This license is issued in conformity with authority granted in licensing authorities by General Laws, Chapter 140, and amendments thereto. Do you want me to just,
No,
well, we'll do one at
yeah.
a time, right?
Is there a
So-
second?
I'll second that.
Is there any further discussion this time? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Next one is to, I will make a motion for common victualers license number 23-16, Cumberland Farms, number 6698 West State and Pleasant Street, Granby. Is hereby granted a common viculars license in said town of Granby and that place only, and expires December 31st, 2023.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
And next one is common victualers license number 2317 for Granby Booster Club at 385 East State Street in Granby. Again, expiring on December 31st, 2023.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion this time? All in favor? Anybody opposed? Thank you. Now we have approved and signed the 2023 Class 2 license for AMAG J's Inc., who does business as AJ's Auto Body.
So this will be used car dealer's license class 2, number 2-0002, to buy and sell secondhand motor vehicles for AMAJ Incorporated, doing business as AJ's Auto Body at 39 West Street. On premises described as follows: Metal Butler Building on Route 202, some frontage for placement of cars for resale, storage in rear of building for non-repaired cars. Restrictions: no more than 6 used motor vehicles for sale at one time. Vehicles with major damage waiting to be repaired must be stored out of sight or inside of the building, and reconfigure up to 24 spaces for non-employees to include for autos under repair and for sale, with maximum 5 spaces on southerly side of property. expiring on, January 1st, 2024.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any further discussion?
I just had a question. Who comes up with the restrictions?
That was
Is it-
probably, well, when they first applied for the,
We discussed it, yeah.
license,
Yep.
we came up for discussion what the town wanted for that. One of the requirements was they didn't want, damaged vehicles out in the front, they wanted to
Okay.
put behind. And then some of the other stuff comes up from the planning board based on what the area was needed for parking spaces and such.
Okay.
During the site plan approval
Yes.
process.
There was, yeah.
Okay. That's it.
All right. Is there a second?
You
Did you already second?
Yeah.
I think
did
I already
second.
seconded it.
All right, so we're in discussion part, all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed?
I'll pass that on. We didn't get to see that in ours.
Oh, that's very nice though.
Yeah.
Thank you card for the senior lunch.
Oh, from Bobby Root. Relatives. Relatives.
Those I saw.
Very nice.
Yes. All right. Does anybody have anything they'd like to bring up for our next meeting?
Yeah, I like update on the forestry project, where we're standing on that. And the dredging project, if anything was going on with that,
The dredging, okay.
of the pond.
For the forestry.
I'm sure that's put off to the spring, but
Did you have any luck scheduling anything for the GCAM? You were going to go into negotiations with Mark Vale? I
Oh,
didn't know
Mark
if you had any
is,
chance.
him and I have been going back and forth with emails. He's trying to get the information together that I asked for,
Okay,
and
I know,
he's not being too successful in doing it.
yeah,
So maybe next meeting we can have an update on GCAM too,
yeah.
where we are with, just on that.
And then, I don't know if the West Street, I'm gonna get the wording wrong, but the.
building.
No, yeah, but there was a committee, yeah, no, it's a West Street building.
West Street Building Committee.
The committee, if they've had a chance to, make any legwork or anything.
I think
I know the
they-
holidays
I
might
think
have
they're,
slowed.
no, I think they're looking at getting together sometime this month.
Okay,
It's usually hard getting people together around the holidays.
that's what I was thinking too.
All right. Anything else anybody can think of for our next meeting?
I'm sure as soon as I walk away, I
Yeah.
think of something, but
It's funny.
that's enough for now.
You just quickly talk about
Oh.
the forestry and, you know, in mid-January or beginning of January, we think the ground be frozen, but
I know,
Yeah.
we just get a lot of rain this week too, so hopefully, it's not getting dug up too bad.
they
I
haven't
heard
started
somebody
yet.
complaining about the trails are in
Yeah.
bad shape.
I'm not allowed to talk about it because it's not on the agenda.
No, I know, and I'm just saying that, so we can talk about our next meeting, so.
You know, there is an update, but I just can't talk about it because
Yeah,
it's not.
no,
on
well,
the
Yeah.
that's, no,
That's
just,
fine.
and that's good, 'cause that's kind of what I'm wondering for our next meeting, how the trails are doing and stuff like that, so it's good to know you have information for next meeting
Our
on
next
that,
meeting.
so, yep. All right.
And, maybe an update on the special town meeting if we have a further date that we have in mind.
We don't have any other topics as to
Okay.
except those two. So it's kind of hard to try and just schedule for just two articles.
Right.
You
But if
know,
we
it
don't
costs,
get,
it costs about $3,000 to
Run a meeting.
run a meeting.
Yeah.
And for 2 articles that maybe only take 10 minutes,
We
it's,
could put it in May.
people get perturbed when we call them out for a 10-minute meeting.
Yeah. The only downfall to that side was just that one of the articles is time sensitive because, yeah,
Well, we can look at it.
okay.
All right. Well, no one has anything else. Then we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that motion.
Is there any further discussion at this time?
Nope.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you, everybody.